7 is for me, is the perennial classic. Perennial word. It's the classic Christmas film. It's a Wonderful Life. Frank Capra.
Frank Capra.
Damn straight. It's a Wonderful Life is one of those movies everybody watches every year, and some people care, some people don't. But I specifically do not watch it except the one time a year right before Christmas, because I want to forget everything in the movie as much as I can before I rewatch it. It's one of those few movies that just gets to me when I frickin' see it every time.
It is a good movie. I would talk about it more, but I will hold off on it for a little bit for a very specific reason. But for now, my number 7 pick is BenHur, the William Wyler classic. Now, yes, it's 4 hours long, but when I was a kid, this was probably the first, in a sense, true classic that I ever got into. You know how you are kids and sometimes your parents bring home classics and they're like, oh, this is a masterpiece, and they show it to you, and you don't care. You want spaceships and Indiana Jones, and it always ticked you off there's only 3 of them.
Yeah.
Well, now there's 4, but my kids will hate me if I show them that last one. But BenHur was the first classic in a true sense that really caught my attention with its epic scope and its, you know, bad guys and the journey and the power of healing in the message of the hope. And Charlton Heston in this movie reminds us that he actually was an actor. I mean, I know he became known for some controversial politics later on, but he was ultimately an actor. This is probably his best acting job ever. At 4 hours, it's not short, but I dare anyone to show me a scene that really compares to the famous chariot race.
Well, yeah, BenHur is one of those classic films. I don't know if I've ever held it. 4 hours is a lot. I can tell you I haven't seen it too many times.
Anyway, number 6 is another epic. This one I kind of discovered a little later in life, though. It's Gone with the Wind. Now, I know some people are going to complain. Isn't that a chick flick the ultimate chick flick? The chick flicks to die for? No, it's a great movie, a great epic. The ultimate chick flick is probably Titanic.
Yeah.
Which I also like, just for the record. But Gone with the Wind definitely has a look and a feel that is very unique. And it actually feels like it hasn't aged very much. Except with one minor regard to some politics about slavery that feels a little outdated. It's still a very effective romance and political drama with great sets and action, and some of these scenes are actually cutting special effects to the point where we're not even thinking of the technique being made, even though there's a lot going into them.
Gone with the Wind, yeah, that's another one that, you know, I've seen. I've had, you know, had to watch Gone with the Wind at least once to do it. It is a great film, but I just... it didn't get me in that certain way where I want to pull it out and watch Gone with the Wind all the time.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of classics are kind of like that. Number 6 for me is another goofy one. That was what I was going to trade out. I was thinking of shoving the Iron Giant in there, but that wouldn't work right. Let's go. It's Mystery Science Theater 3000, the movie.
Is that a real movie?
Oh, it sure the hell is. I love that. I mean, let's be honest. Okay, a lot of people don't like the movie that are Mystery Science Theater fans because they feel it's dumbed down. But it was the first one I saw following a couple of lamer episodes. So I've seen like Red Zone Cuba and like ones that were kind of like, that's kind of funny. Yeah. But the movie was, to me, it is a little bit dumber than the TV show, and it doesn't have the... But every single joke is freaking quotable. I still laugh at all of them when I think about it. I prayed for that thing to be put on DVD, and it finally was, and I bought 3 of them for everyone I knew that wanted it. Because, yeah, I waited for that one for a while, and even though it's not the best thing they ever made, it is still probably my favorite.
Well, I did enjoy the movie. I don't hold it any prestige, of course, but whatever. Maybe I'll hold your next film in a little higher regard.
Number 5 for me is going to be Patton with George C. Scott.
Well, I was right.
I love that movie.
Well, who doesn't love Patton? I mean, aside from the anti-war hippie communists out there.
Yeah. Damn you. Patton kicks ass. It's one of those long ones. It's 3 hours long.
Yeah.
But it's 3 hours of awesome. With George C. Scott kicking some ass as General Patton.
Yep. And in the role, he was one of those roles that they say you were born to play.
Damn straight. Oh, yeah. Everything in that movie is great. It's 3 hours. You don't even notice it's 3 hours, and it's just awesome.
It is excellent film. It keeps the politics out. It just focuses on this man who may or may not be insane, actually.
Yeah, no, they do a lot of good scenes in it. It's a pretty straightforward, just epic film.
Number 5 on my list is one of the ultimate feel-good movies. Now, some people say they like the movies to be gritty and realistic, and that's okay. However, there is room in people's hearts for the movies that truly just make you feel really good. And for me, that movie is It's a Wonderful Life.
Damn straight.
Frank Capra's Christmas classic about a guy who basically lives his life working and slaving for his family's company and feels not made much of a difference in the world because he didn't do the things he wanted to do. And then a visit from an angel one night shows him what the world would be like if he'd never existed. The final scene, I mean, it's contrived.
I don't even
know
care.
It's contrived, but I don't care.
It doesn't matter. The best part of that, the part that always gets me is when the guys that are there to arrest him give him money. Yeah. They like add money to the pile where they're like, well, what the hell, we're at a party. And then they just start singing and it's like, this is fucking awesome. I love that movie. No, It's a Wonderful Life isn't amazing.
My number 4 pick is a lot more fun than the last two. It's Robert Zemeckis' Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Now, this is a pretty big one for me because this got me interested in the technique. Really the technique of filmmaking. Sure, Star Wars and Ben-Hur and all that stuff had me going like, how'd they do that? But Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where the characters are mixed so seamlessly with the live action that you swear they're right there. I just was going over that movie over and over and I'm like, how did they do that? Because I know it's not real, but they feel so real. And I'm not just talking about the personalities, which are, in this movie, the personalities of Roger Rabbit and the weasels and stuff are better fleshed out than most live-action movies, but they have presence there. When Roger Rabbit jumps into or falls into the toilet, it splashes, and when he gets out, he's walking and he's dripping real water everywhere, and it just started bugging me like, how'd they do that?
No, it definitely is a filmmaking wonder when they made that. I'll give it that.
Yeah, and it's still very funny to this day. It held up extremely well. It did win 4 Academy Awards, and it's just yet another example that the Academy, for some reason, doesn't want animation in the Best Picture race.
Well, I like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but story-wise, it's kind of on the weak side. I always thought it's almost like a decent excuse to do all the stuff they do, but it never, to me, came around to being an excellent excuse for mixing the action with live action and the animation and stuff.
Well, it's as good an excuse as it. And what do you want? They're cartoons.
Well, I know. I like the premise of it. To me, I like the film a lot, but it's a little off from being excellent to me.
Yeah.
But, you know. Number 4 for me is Terry Gilliam's Brazil. And a very strange film, but a damn brilliant one in my opinion. It is just an amazing feat of just the visual style, the pacing, how quick it moves, and its parody of politics and red tape bureaucracy is just wonderful. I haven't seen it too many times because I don't want to. I want to, like, for the same thing, I want to kind of rediscover and Robert De Niro, that's my favorite thing Robert De Niro ever did, is playing air conditioner repairman renegade.
Yeah, one of the few times he justified playing himself almost.
Yeah, him, the Jonathan Pryce, everything about this movie is strange, bizarre, but it works wonderfully in its own goofy way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't care too much for Brazil. However, I'm going to have to point out, I did see a much shorter cut, and I hear that the longer cut is better.
More
so I'll have to reevaluate the film again one day, but not right now.